I made a very bad decision. I chose to try to grind out the full evolution for Operator without skipping any levels or spending a dime of real money. I wanted to test the whole process out and see the free-to-play player experience. To answer the question, how long does it really take to unlock a fully decked out Operator? Spoiler alert, a little while. Before I could even get my grubby hands on the base tower, the lame version, I had to unlock the option to be able to buy it first, which meant bringing the regular scout and leveling it up to level 20. Okay, so I got my little team here with the regular scout, and I'm thinking I just do a controlled test with Pizza Party and see if I can win, see how much EXP I get, see how long it takes. There are a number of tower EXP grinding methods out there, but before trying those, I wanted to establish a control group and play and compare the 3 main special modes. Pizza Party is a little annoying, but with some high-level teammates, I was able to speed through the mode in about 20 minutes. But the rewards here definitely left something to be desired. I got 215 EXP. I think that's like really bad for 22 minutes worth of playtime. That brought my scout up to level 3, almost 4, which doesn't seem too bad, but each level requires more and more EXP. I knew Pizza Party was not going to be a worthwhile grinding method. Just to be safe, I tried the other 2 special modes, Badlands and Polluted, and both were underwhelming. Badlands is marginally quicker than Pizza Party, but it awards 30 less EXP, which is too significant to make up for the shorter match length. And Polluted Wastelands, I really didn't want to grind the smokes. It's just a very tense, you need to be pretty focused type game mode. But I did decide to do one run to test it, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. Don't summon, don't summon. Oh boy. Okay, we had to sweat that one out. I don't know why he has a pickle in his stomach. We had to sweat that one out, but we got the win. Unfortunately, this mode is even less efficient for grinding than the other 2. It's also 215, but that takes so much longer. It's so much harder. That doesn't make any sense, bruh. The EXP system is a little strange. You might think that like how much damage the tower deals or how many of the tower you place down affects the amount you get, but no. You just need to place one of the tower and you get the set amount of EXP, and it can't fluctuate other than in relation to what wave you reach. All of which to say, yeah, don't grind any of these modes, it's not worth it. But that experiment had gotten my scout to level 8. I would 8 to not be level 20, Next, I decided to turn to the world of solo loss grinding. I looked up strategies on YouTube with the idea of trying and comparing a couple, but the first one was from a guy called Trix. It was a really basic strategy where you just get some gold scouts and spam skip in hardcore mode until you lose to the balloons. I tested this out, and the payout here is actually pretty solid. 53 XP. For under 3 minutes. Okay, that's now we're starting to get somewhere. That's a pretty good rate. But I think we can do a little better if I just pop a little time scale ticket. Yeah. This is one of those things that's kind of a gray area. I know I said this was all free to play, and it is. I didn't spend any money, but I guess like if you've been playing this game for years like I have, you'll have like 100 to 200 of these time scale tickets, and you can pretty much just use as many as you want, which won't be the case if you're newer. But I did opt to use the time scale tickets here to set the match to 2x speed because they genuinely save so much time. Combined with auto skip, which is still free to play because I had that before the video, they allow you to blow through a match in about a minute and 20 seconds. Which for 56 EXP seemed very good. That's a rate of about 168 EXP every 4 minutes. So I decided to knuckle down and grind it out for a while. I just, spammed the scouts, auto skip the waves, lost, restarted, timescaled, repeat. I eventually optimized the setup a bit by bringing Gold Pyromancer, because it just allows you to be a little lazier. It requires a few less clicks than having to upgrade multiple gold scouts. You can just get one to level 3 and it should be good. And with this method, eventually... Okay, so it's been just barely over an hour. And if my calculations were correct, aka just me guessing, this should be enough for a maxed out scout. Unfortunately, there's no way to check progress in-game, so I went back to the lobby and yeah, got level 20 on the scout. Which, like honestly, all in all, this was only like 2 hours of grinding, so I mean, not that bad, right? Surely? Regardless, I was now able to access the operator tower. Bro, what? Why does it cost 15,000 coins? This tower sucks balls. Luckily, I had enough gems for my hardcore and voidcore videos, and I just grinded up about 2,000 more while farming all those losses, but I did need some coins. So I hopped into a Frostbone match to try loss farming again. 371 coins in 2 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna be doing this. No. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. While we're testing stuff, I decided maybe it could be cool to grind the coins for operator in an easier fashion by using this gambling wheel in the lobby. I've like very rarely interacted with this thing, so I had 199 tickets saved up and I was like, oh, I wonder how many of these it'll take for me to get the coins I need. I guess I'll just go till I get it, right? Never use this wheel. I dropped exactly 100 spins on it, and from that I earned 1,850 coins. It's ass. So I had to bite the bullet and grind out a bunch of losses on Frost mode to get the coins. Okay, that was extremely annoying, but now, for real, I can finally get the lame version of Operator without any of the good upgrades. I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit too much of a sourpuss this video. Base Operator is at least better than like Juggernaut with its unlocks because only 2 of them are gated off. Albeit the best 2, but still. You can do some stuff with this tower. Since the EXP was back to 0, I decided to do another control group game and just run a Frost mode match with some random teammates. Oh dude, it's a Tato, right? Like a spud? That is a high class joke. Operator is a fairly cheap tower, so I was able to get a couple down early and get its unique attribute up and running. I actually really do like this gimmick. I feel like it's pretty cool to get basically infinite range if you set it up right, but unfortunately I don't think the DPS itself is really that good. Operators can share each other's range if they're placed within the radius of the other operator. It's like an inverse Venn diagram. This allows you to, if you set it up correctly, cover essentially the entire map, and there is an advantage to that, because if you place your towers far from the path, for example, it's less likely they'll be stunned or debuffed by certain zombies. But then again, that also means they might be out of range of other support towers like Commander or DJ, so you kinda don't want to do that sometimes. Operator does have one other unique ability, but it's DPS focused and thus not very relevant until you unlock the last 2 levels. Because, I mean, look at Big Operator, so inspirational, dealing such incredible damage. 32 DPS is pretty outstanding. Oh, I got a logbook. Always nice to get a boss logbook. 30 DPS is not very good. Operator is not very good at all without its full evolution, and that combined with how laughable the EXP payout for this match was, put me back on the path of solo loss farming. I wanted to try to switch up the strat a bit and try something new so my brain wouldn't turn to paste, so I checked out some more videos. Wikiacolors posted an EXP grind strat, but his method was just a solo Triumph Pizza Party, which seemed both a lot slower than my prior method and requiring of a lot more effort. I found this guy Bran Flakes' video, I thought it was a cereal, but his strategy wasn't very efficient or very easy either. I wanted to test and compare a bunch of ways to grind, but honestly, I don't think anything touches just timescale ticketing hardcore losses, or maybe frost mode or something is better, I don't know, I like getting gems. For Operator, it's the exact same setup as for grinding Scouts EXP. The only difference is you just use your extra money to place one Operator so that you get the EXP. So I repeated the process and did the same thing I did for Scout, except it took longer because it requires 665 more experience, which is 12 more losses by itself. Yay! It took about an hour and a half of grinding on double speed, so that would have been 3 hours otherwise. I'm not really going to talk much about the grinding process because nothing really happened, it was just this a billion times, but eventually... Okay, if I sound like a bucket of lard, it's because I've just played 50 rounds of this, and also because I just ate a big bowl of chili, but that should be enough. I joined back to the lobby to double check my math had been correct, and level 20, finally, and all of the thingamajigs unlocked. Now we got the upgraded coordination. This was definitely worth the time investment. Unfortunately, Operator is not that good, at least currently. It might be getting buffed in the near future. The problem is with its secondary gimmick, coordination. When Operator is within close vicinity of other operators, it gains a damage boost, and that damage boost can stack with multiple of the unit. There's a bit of inherent anti-synergy with its shared range mechanic because you're incentivized to both group the tower together and place multiple far across the map for maximum coverage. It's not such a big deal, you just have to think a little, but it is a little odd to me. And it's magnified by another problem with the tower, which is that you really need a bunch of them to get that buff to start dealing some serious damage. It is a relatively cheap tower compared to other DPS options, but I said this in my Juggernaut video, for tough modes it's generally better to have one really expensive, really high DPS tower, rather than a bunch of less powerful units, because they take up way more placement space, which isn't itself a big deal with Operator because you can space them out, but even then, they still take up a ton of placement slots. If you're playing a quad or trio match on any hard mode, you're only going to have 20 to 25 total slots, and if you want Operator to keep up in the mid to late game, you're going to have to dedicate a ton of those spaces to the tower for its damage buff, which is occupying space which could be a lot better served with some other units, probably. I mean, I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's meant to be an early game tower, which is very true, but I don't know, maybe that's the problem itself, that it is an early game tower. It just feels a bit underwhelming that an evolved unit, which requires so much time investment to unlock, is not that powerful overall, especially compared to how bonkers Juggernaut was. We can't even use mouse mode, meaning it cannot detect rodent-type enemies. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Stay tuned for my next Evolved Tower video on Kingpin.